Well, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on where you are in the world. One of those should resonate with you. We are so glad to see you. Where I am, it is still morning. Megan, where you are, is it afternoon yet?
It is afternoon and we're experiencing some beautiful weather. I'm very happy about it.
Well, that's good. Where I am, we're experiencing these triple digit heat waves, so very, very hot. But nevertheless, it's going to be very, very warm, we think, and cordial here today on the Chicken Box. Welcome to the Chicken Box. I'm Frances Toni Draper, CEO of Afro News, the country's oldest family-owned Black newspaper, and we are just glad to be here. I said newspaper hesitantly, Megan, because we're really a media company. We use all kinds of platforms, and this is just one of them. So welcome to the Chicken Box. No, we've not made an error in our spelling. It is Boxx with two X's intentionally, which means that sometimes the topics are hot, but they're not triple X rated. They're just double X, right? And we talk about a variety of things. And the Chicken Box is powered, as I said already, by the Afro. So we give that right up front. Go to afro.com, find out more about us, but we will tell you more as we go along. Megan, would you introduce yourself? Megan is I was going to say a host for today, and we're glad to have her.
Definitely. Hi, everybody, Afro friends and family. My name is Megan Sales. I'm a staff writer for the Afro. I've been with the team since 2021. I came through Report for America and started on the business beat, and now I'm, touching all different areas, doing general assignment reporting, and just super excited to be here with Dr. Draper and to speak with our wonderful guest today.
Thank you. And we do give hats off to Impeccable, who's usually a co-host, and Jay Jackson, who you may see. Now, if you're watching this, you're either watching by Facebook or LinkedIn or YouTube. And if you're watching live, of course, you're in the noon hour on East Coast time. You're watching later, you're watching a recorded version. But no matter what, we hope you'll interact with us, engage, because boy, do we have an exciting topic to talk about on today. And so we're going to bring our special guest on. I can't wait to hear the backstory of this business as well as what they are doing. And they've got some exciting news even just this week, Megan, that I just heard about. And so let's bring her to the platform, into the studio. Here she comes, Katina Robinson Wright. Hi, we're glad to have you.
Good afternoon. How are you? I'm happy to be here.
Well, good. So I understand you're the executive vice president of Legacy Partners Distributions.
Yes, ma'am. I am the executive VP of operations.
Okay. Well, first, before we get into, and maybe you'll weave this in when you tell us this, what is Legacy Partners Distributions? Just tell us a little bit about what that is, who you are, and then before I forget, we're going to also say to the people who are watching that Katina's a part of a very special event that we're having a little later in this month. But Katina, tell us about the business. Tell us about yourself.
Legacy Partners Distribution is a minority-owned spirits distribution company. We were founded in 2015 by Dr. Gerald Boyd Sr., and he has been a local businessman and a Washington, D.C. native for many, many years. And so just looking into expanding our footprint as a people into the spirits world, he established our company in 2015. And recently, his daughter-in-law, Dr. Shawn Boyd, has taken the helm. So it is still a family-led distribution company. And so we really just specialize on premium handcrafted beverages. We look to work with partners that are doing something good in our community. Our company has a strong give back component that works with a lot of our brands as well as our organizations to ensure that we're delivering the highest quality spirits that we can in our community. We are a large part of the consumers, so we're just trying to make sure we have space in all of the tiered system that deals with distilled spirits.
That's great. I'm glad you said that when you add the beverage thing, because you say spirits, people have all kinds of things come to mind about spirits. And so thank you for the introduction of the company. We're gonna find an introduction of the company. We're gonna find out a little bit more about you later. Megan, Megan asks questions for a living. I thought I asked a lot of questions. That's what she does for a living. So I know she has a question to ask.
I do. And I think I want to start, with the name, Legacy, right? And what I've learned about the company, it's more than just a distribution company. It seems, it's built around the idea of creating a lasting legacy. You've just mentioned the family led aspect, and we know a lot about that at the Afro as well. So, for you and in your role and just in being in this company, what does that word mean to you, legacy, personally? And how does it kind of shape the way that you're doing business?
For me personally, it is more important to not just worry about making money. It is about ensuring that we are doing the best that we can to be a part of our community. So a lot of people think legacy is just the lineage of their family in particular. For me, I think it is the legacy that we leave as a people, period. And so that definitely shapes the brands that we choose to work with. It shapes how we do business in the sense that we are a very boutique business. We stay in a very small niche of crafted beverages. We look for people that are sourcing responsibly, that are producing responsibly, that are giving something back to the environment. And a big part of us as well is ensuring that the companies we work with have their own legacy. We like to work with companies that have some community philanthropic aspect to them. They hire from within, they develop young people. Both Dr. Boyd and both Dr. Boys in the company are educators. And so they do a lot of mentoring. We love working. I know you mentioned the event we're going to be working with the Afro next month. That is a big part of the corporate philosophy, is ensuring that we are part of helping build the generation behind us of entrepreneurs or people that are interested in just sharing the knowledge that we have. So for me, legacy is all of those things. And I love that it is part of our company name, and that I get to be a part of continuing that within our community.
Absolutely. And I love that, it's not just profit driven, it's purpose driven. And Dr. Draper, do you want to talk a little bit about that event that, Katina is mentioning?
Sure, I do. And then I'm going to go back. Katina, don't let me forget to ask you how you got involved in this business. But next month, as Katina said, I think I've misspoken, said this month, but my mind is in August, but it's still July. Next month on August the 13th, here in Baltimore. I know a lot of our viewers are not from Baltimore, but if you are, I'm going to ask you to, if you're interested, I'll tell you how to get involved. But on August the 13th, which is actually the Afro's 134th birthday, anniversary date, we celebrate our founding from 1892. We will have, I think it's our 6th annual Black Business Expo. There you are. Thank you so much, Producer Asia. You're right on it. And we are really talking about how the power of AI merges with our current businesses to take them to the next level. I don't care what business you're in. For those who think we're going to avoid AI and avoid data centers, people thought they were going to avoid regular phones a long time ago, and airplanes and automobiles and everything else. It's just a part of what happens in the technology-driven world, and we've always been in a technology-driven world. We just don't use slide rulers anymore. We now use computers. So we're going to talk about how that's going to transform, how it's already transforming our businesses to innovate and to lead. And it is it's an invitation-only event. It is that afternoon. But for the viewers on the Chicken Box, if you are watching this episode and you are in the Baltimore area, Asia is going to put an email up. Asia, if you'll put, okay. So I don't think Asia, is there a small fee for those tickets because it says to purchase? I think so. Just let me know. But it's not exorbitant. Go to afrotix.live. I know you say Afrotix. What is that? Well, think Eventbrite, but think Black owned. Afrotix.live. That's our own ticketing platform. And when people go there, they say, oh, there's a fee. I said, when you go to Eventbrite, there's a fee too. So go to Afrotix.live. So that's the event. We have a fascinating panel. Katina is a part in her company, and the company that we're talking about today They are part of what we calling Sip and Say. So once you register, you'll get information about how to come and sample some of their spirits, and others will be in the room. Purchase if you like. I think you can purchase or even place an order, and then go down and enjoy the rest of the expo, because we are showcasing all kinds of businesses. So thank you, Megan, for asking me that question after you asked Katina. I told you she's a good question to ask. So Katina, tell us a little, how did you get involved in this legacy business? And tell us a little bit about your role and what you do.
So Shawn and I, Dr. Shawn Boyd and I, have been friends for over 30 years. And I am an adopted part of their family, as many of us in the DMV are transplants from other places. I am a Chicagoland native, and I've been here for more than 20 years. And so their family has become my family. So when she was ready to move to the next stage, they recently finished doing some work in a technical space, and she was ready to take the helm. I was like, I'm there. So this is a labor of friendship and joy, but also purpose. And so I am very excited to be a part of the new stage of this company and really see it continue to grow and flourish. So my role as Executive VP of Operations, as we know, when you start any business, you have a nice title, but you become do it all until you can do something else. So at this moment, I am the do it all in a lot of ways, but I primarily focus on our accounts, not only generating new accounts and leads for us, but really I do a lot of the account hand-holding. So that means, in layman's terms, I make sure that we get product and we can get product back out to the retailers. That's the primary goal at this moment.
Got it. So to our audience, if you're just tuning in, this is the Chicken Box, powered by the soon-to-be 134-year-old Afro-American news organization. Go to afro.com for more information. And we have a fascinating guest here. So Katina, when we come to the Black Business Expo, right? We're coming. And we're coming early enough to go onto the 4th floor of the Reginald Lewis Museum, where you and others will be sharing about your business and having your samples. What are people going to expect when they stop by your table?
Well, Legacy is actually going to be bringing 4 brands, which we love. We are bringing 4 African-American owned spirit brands to the expo. And some of them are boutique. They're in various stages of development, but they are all high quality products. And they're all brands that are looking to expand into the DC marketplace. So our role is really to make sure that they get out there, to allow your guests to sample these premium spirits in a variety of ways, and to be able to purchase. And if you're not a spirits drinker, a lot of people, I don't drink distilled spirits, but you can always help your Black brand owners primarily just by asking for them. So if you don't see those brands in a liquor store, at your favorite restaurant, at a club, at your favorite hotel, if you saunter up to a hotel and you don't see that brand there, just ask for it. That alone helps drive. And so a lot of people think it's always, I just have to purchase. There's a lot you can do to support the African-American spirit owners in this arena that's not just purchasing. Although we love for you to purchase, don't get me wrong. But if you don't partake, there are ways to still support and help. So we're excited to bring these brand partners to the Afro event on the 13th, and we're looking to getting a lot of great feedback.
Good. And I saw it come across the screen. Tickets are free. I thought they were afrotix.live, but you must register because we do have a capacity for the space. And so we want you to come because you'll find out about the spirits business and a lot of other businesses. And if you're in business and in the area, you're going to want to be there. This expo is for you. Did I say it was free? Did I say it was free? Yes. Free. But you have to register. All right, Megan, I see the wheels turning.
Yeah. And, I think I wanted to ask about, just this distribution side. I think that most people don't realize how important distribution is in the beverage industry and a lot of industries. We think about retail. We go to our favorite store, we see our product on the shelf, we check out, we leave. So what would you say is some of the biggest misconceptions that people have about what distributors actually do? And, how would you describe, why it's so significant?
I think it's very significant because that is actually how we control where our products are. And so sometimes we don't realize that we're drinking what we drink or we're purchasing what we purchase because someone has made a very strategic decision about what is in those stores that you attend. So when it comes to the distribution side, it's sort of where we get a say in what we choose. And so we're really encouraging people to choose what they consume and to think consciously about what you want in your stores. Because no matter where your stores are located, they can only continue to make money if they are providing the products that you want to see. So that's the reason that I mentioned, just asking for our brands, asking for us to be in the place, making a demand for us to be in those spaces is so critical. The back end of that is having distribution companies like us that are willing to make sure our products get placed there. So having that network of salesmen and delivery people and accounts to ensure that our products are able to get into those spaces is key. And so, like I said, just whenever you can ask for them and encourage your networks. We have a lot of people in this area that are executives in a lot of high places. Just all, and not just in the spirits world. I just mean in general, our African American brand owners. Creating that demand for our products is one way we can ensure that we are part of that economic system always.
Mm-hmm, definitely. I love the focus on that power of choice. And it actually made me think a little bit about kind of, your focus on, like you said, handcrafted quality, products, and especially being able to support African American owned and women owned spirit brands. What are some of the qualities that you guys are looking for when you want to work with a brand? What are the qualities that make you think a brand will succeed and that it's, a right fit for legacy?
For us in particular, as I mentioned, we do look for brands that have some sort of corporate give back or community service driven. A lot of our brands either have a foundation of their own or they have some programmatic support that gives back to the community. We're also looking for brands that, trade in the value of legacy. They understand the value sometimes of small. Large isn't always best. Sometimes the boutique is where you need to be. And it's not that we don't want to help our brands grow. We just want to make sure that they're lasting and successful. So sometimes that means a smaller start. Sometimes that means a very niche driven choice of activation. So we really like to work with brands that are looking for a strategy and a plan, not just throw me any and everywhere. So I think that makes us different. I think the fact that we will support brands that are not here. We have some brand owners that are in California. We have some that are in Michigan. So when they have activations or tasting events, they can't always fly back across the country to be present. So just like the event that's going to happen on the 13th, we will bring the brands there. We will be your marketing arm. We will be your partner to ensure that you have some growth and some lasting legacy in a footprint. And so that I think is a key part of our distribution business and makes us unique. And we genuinely care. We are very strategic about the partners that we work with. We don't have a humongous portfolio, but we have a portfolio of really good quality products and great brand partners.
Wow. Well, so that brings to mind this question about scale and how we fit in this whole ecosystem. But let me say first to the audience, if you have a question for Katina, please put it in the chat, whatever platform you're on, and we'll make sure that at least it gets asked, and she'll decide whether it gets answered. But when we talk about African American owned brands, right, and we talk about companies and all of it, what do we put it in perspective for us? What's the scale like compared to the entire industry? How many of us are in this space right now? I'm sure it's growing, but, because I've seen it grow over the years at the expo. So, but help us to understand when we say we're going to make sure we support these brands and make sure they get this exposure and marketing and all of that. Are we talking about 2%, 1% of the overall? Help me understand some of that.
So in terms of consuming distilled spirits, we are about almost 40% of the market of consumers. Of course, when it comes to brand ownership, we are a smaller percentage, and I don't know the number, so I won't try and rattle off numbers. But then when it comes to distribution, we are a very, very small percent. So anyone that may not be familiar with the way the distilled spirit industry works, you have a supplier or a distiller They produce the alcoholic beverage. Then you'll have in the middle, us, a distribution company or a wholesaler. And our responsibility is to make sure that the product gets from that supplier to the retail outlets. It is a state-by-state driven system. So each state has different regulations about how they work. So if you have an ABC store, for instance, in your area, your state is acting as the wholesaler in that case. So there may be a broker that's helping the supplier get into that ABC store, but the ABC store kind of acts as the wholesaler or the distribution company in ABC states. And then in the case of Maryland, there's additional regulations that happen county by county. So the things that you can do in terms of soliciting, tasting, how you present the beverages to different retailers, the licenses and those things happen on a county by county basis. So it's very difficult, or it can be difficult for a supplier to figure out, how do I navigate all of these channels to get my product to whatever consumer? So that's where working with a good distribution partner comes into play, is making sure that they take care of all of that and can help you get into the avenues that you want to get into. At the time that Dr. Boyd founded this company in 2015, he was the only minority-owned distribution company doing business at that time. There are since a few more, but we're still not as represented as we should be in the tier 2 space. I will say that.
And that's fairly recent, because you said he started the business in 2015?
2015, yes. So we're
and
11 years, almost 12.
11 or 12 years, and the first.
And he was the first.
In the state.
It was the first African-American owned distribution company.
Wow, it took all that long time, and we've been high consumers for
for a very long time, yes. So, Dr. Boyd was a trailblazer for sure, but I love that the spirit in which he even founded the company is legacy, and I love that we're helping continue to make sure that we are represented in spaces where we're not as always as represented.
Wow, that's still mind-boggling that the first was 2015.
Yep.
Okay. All right, we have a lot of work to do
to catch up.
So we can stop saying. So we can all stop saying we're the first. We should be saying, you know what, we're the 100th business in this space, or
yes,
1,000th business in this space, or at least proportion to our consumption. But we still have all of these first, which says a lot about our country and a lot about our economic policies. Okay, I'm not gonna get on that bandwagon. I'll wait till I get on the box. Okay, Megan.
Yeah, just when you were talking about working with distributors and just something I wanted to ask, especially in pursuit of hoping to get more, Black-owned brands on the shelves. Can you talk a little bit about some of the mistakes that, entrepreneurs or brands might make when they're approaching distributors? What are some of the things that they should avoid? What are some of the things that they should make sure they do when they approach distributors?
Uh-oh, did I lose you for a second?
Just for a second, but you're back.
I'm back. I apologize. I heard you say, what were some of the mistakes that people make?
Yes. So what are some of the mistakes that brands make when they're approaching distributors, and what would you say are some of the things they should make sure that they include and that they speak about when they approach distributors?
Did you freeze again?
Am I still there?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, I apologize. Technology always fails on you.
That's okay.
But I'll keep talking and hope that you can hear me. In case of mistakes, I would just say, when you're seeking a distribution partner, one of the key things you should be doing is really looking for a partnership. There are lots of big guys out there that have lots of ways to get you into a lot of places really quickly. But we're looking to build a relationship. So I think looking for a distribution partner that understands your business, your philosophy, that's willing to chart a strategic plan with you for where you want to go. Because the key is not to just be there one time. Your key is to really build a retail partnership as well, and a customer partnership. So you're looking for customers that truly choose you, but you also want to be in places where they can choose you repeatedly. And so for us, that is really making sure that we understand the philosophy of the companies that we're working with and where they want to see their products grow, and then helping them. And so that's why we become sort of part of the hands-on where we need to, and we step up where we can to ensure that it is more of a relationship. So I would just say that's my philosophy on it. Doesn't make it right or wrong, but that's just how we approach working with brands.
Okay, well, let me ask the question a little differently. It's not really the same question. So let's say that I'm a brand owner, or as Megan was talking, I am a person that has been, experimenting with something in my kitchen maybe, and I've got this brand and I don't know what to do, but people keep saying, you ought to sell it, you ought to sell it, you ought to sell it. So I'm right at the beginning. I don't know anything about this. What are some of the things that I should know and do to be prepared? Because it is a business. A lot of times we have passion, whether it's spirits or selling widgets, we have passion about doing something. And then it doesn't fail because the product isn't good. It fails because we don't understand next steps. And most startup businesses, don't succeed, but a lot of them do. So what's your advice to people who say, you know what, my grandmama made this, and we've got this recipe from generations, and somebody said we ought to bottle it and get it on the street. What do you say to that person?
I would say first and foremost, do your research. I agree with you. We don't fail because our products aren't good. We fail usually because we have failed to plan. So when you decide you want to go into business, I think you approach it just like everything else. You wouldn't buy a new dress without shopping around in the stores. So when you're searching for things for your business, you should be shopping around. Make sure that you're getting proper legal guidance. Make sure that you're researching the regulations as they pertain to where you are. As I mentioned, state to state, things are different. So making sure that you understand all of the regulations that are associated with your industry, and then seek support. I think sometimes we are hesitant because we want to protect our idea to reach out and get real support or real guidance. But just moving in spaces where somebody already is doing the business that you're doing is a great way to get some support. I mean, we were very fortunate that we have the years of business experience of Dr. Boyd to lean on. My partner, Shawn, has led a business for 26 years. So I have a lot of knowledge in-house, but they both mentor people outside. They are both happy to mentor in the tech space. They've helped companies get started. They've helped with assisting with getting government grants. So there are tons of people out there that will help you. So I say talk as much as you can to whoever you can, because the DMV is very, very small in particular. And someone will always say, oh, I don't know this, but I know someone who does. But if they don't know what you're interested in, or they don't know the business you're trying to create, they can't share that information with you. And so I think one of the biggest things you can do is be your own business advocate. I am looking to sell my grandmother's syrup recipe, and it is the best in the world. Would you like to taste it? Oh my God, I'd love to taste it. My cousin owns a restaurant and they have brunch every Sunday. We can see if we can put it on the menu. The connections will happen just that fast if you are talking about it. But if you're still saying, I don't know, I'm thinking, you're never going to get it out there. So don't be afraid. Bet on yourself every single time.
Well, I love that. That's good advice no matter what. Now, you mentioned something, and it ties right into the theme of the conference on August 13th. By the way, did I say this already? Third time. Go to afrotix.live, get your free ticket, and come. And there is, and I'm not saying because there are unlimited tickets. There's a cutoff, but I don't want you to wait, because sometimes we do that as well. We just wait. So you mentioned something in responding to that question, the marriage of technology along with your business. And so your founder has had a lot of experience, I understand, in that space. Our expo is focused on AI and technology and using that in the business. How does that work for your business now? What do you find? What tools do you find most helpful?
I am not the most tech savvy person, but I rely heavily on the young people in my world who are. So I have seen and learned and had to be taught all sorts of tricks about social media, but just seeing the tools, in particular AI, understanding that AI is a tool, I think is the biggest thing that you can do. And then figuring out how to utilize it properly. I think sometimes we've been kind of tricked into thinking it is the the lazy man's out. I'm just going to put it in there. It's going to give me back all the answers. Well, just like anything else, it's only as good as what you put in. So if your prompts and questions are bad, you're going to get bad answers. But also not only relying on that, taking what you get from AI and doing the work yourself. I think people understanding that it is a tool that is to be utilized, and that it can be helpful, but it is not the solution or the replacement for doing some of the work yourself. And so I think that is one of the keys for us, especially when we're researching just even regulations or partnerships. It's easy to throw it in there and get their spit back to what it is. But if we don't read the regulations for ourselves and make sure that we're following all the guidelines, we could be out of compliance very easily. So I think that's just one example of how I think the technology, leaning on the technology and using it, is very different from throwing away good old-fashioned hard work in the meantime.
Wow, so that certainly is wise advice. Listen, if you're just tuning in, you have missed some gems that have been deposited by our guest, Katina Wright, on today. So you'll have to go back to the beginning. But if you've been with us the whole time, you may have questions of your own. This is the Chicken Box, powered by the Afro, by Afro News, afro.com. And we are having a great conversation with one of the folk whose company is being featured during our Black Business Expo on August the 13th, Legacy Partners Distributors, finding all about how they distribute the spirits, not the spirits, but spirits. And how they serve the suppliers, and so we've gotten lots of great information. And so, Megan, what else do you think our viewers want to know? What else do you want to know?
Well, yeah, I mean, one thing that we haven't touched on, but you have touched on, Katina, for the brands that you work with. You've talked about how, it's important that the brands that you work with have some sort of give back, that they're giving back to their community. We talked about in the beginning what legacy means. But we haven't been able to highlight just yet, I feel, your, company's Legacy Partners Distributions, community investment. I know that you're donating a portion of your profits to 501c3 nonprofit organizations. Can you just talk a little bit about that community investment work and kind of the organizations that you look to support when you're doing your give backs?
Well, definitely, because both of our founder and our current principal operating officer are educators. We do, of course, look for education. Most recently, we participated with the MEAC conference down in Norfolk. So we gave a scholarship at that time. In addition, we supported and judged their competition. They had a little competition between a couple of the collegiate teams. Dr. Boyd was on the panel there. And then we also supported financially their Give Back program, recognizing their distinguished alumni from each one of the university. And so she was part of the honor program there. So those are just some of the things that we like to do. In addition, as you mentioned, when we work with a company or an organization that has a 501c3, we will give back a portion of our profits. Most recently, we're working with Jack and Jill of America for their national conference, which is in Baltimore. Mm-hmm. And we are going to give 50% of the profits from that back to the Jack and Jill program as well. So any opportunity that we have to work, Divine Nine, any of the 501c3s that are in our space, the Links Incorporated, Top Ladies of Distinction, you name it. If there's a 501c3 and we support and provide spirits for your gala or whatever your fundraising event is, we will give a portion of our profits back to your foundation to help continue the work in the community.
That's great. So let's say that I'm having an event, I'm having a gala, and we are serving something from during a cocktail hour or during the event. How do people make that connection, and how does that work? So you mentioned Jack and Jill. Megan and I were both there at their public meeting this week. I know Delta Sigma Theta is having its Eastern Regional Conference here the end of August, right here. When I say here, for those who are viewing and not know, say here, where is that? In Baltimore. I know Kappa Alpha Psi is doing their national conference or conclave. Everybody calls it something different next summer. So let's say that these organizations, how do they make that connection? Because there may be somebody watching that says, you know what, we're bringing our group here, and we have a cocktail hour. We want to have an open bar or whatever. So, what's the process?
So the easiest thing to do is to send us an email or give us a call on the phone to let us know when your event is happening, and then to connect us with your venue partner. So the same way that they would order whatever national brands that they would order from their current distributor, you can request that they serve the brands that you choose, and they order them from us. And the same system will work. Once they place the order, we will do the delivery according to their schedule, and then our profits will be split with you.
Okay, so
It's a very simple process.
we need your
Go ahead.
email. You gonna tell us we can put your email.
I will. So if you want to contact us, it is info@legacypd.com. And I can
legacypd.com. Okay, I think Asia will get that up before we end the show. Okay, that's good. That's good to know. That's for people who are having events and they have them all the time. What's too small to make that call? I'm not trying to rhyme. It just happened. What's too small to make the call?
To make the call for us to provide.
Yeah, is it for? I mean, because you said Jack and Jill, we said Divine Nine, you said the Links. Those are large organizations.
Yes, we'll work with you. If you're a 501c3 and you have a give back component, we'll work with you. Usually the limitation is not us. Sometimes the limitation is actually the venue itself. But I will say, just like we're encouraging you to choose what you drink, when you are spending your dollars or our dollars on venues and venue space, you have choices. So we usually like to get into the conversation early, because it is no different from ordering spirits from any of the other suppliers. If that's what you would like to have at your venue, it's just a process that we need to work through, and we're happy to assist you with that.
Okay, all righty. So are there non-alcoholic options as well?
We actually do have a supplier that is providing some non-alcoholic beverages. So we do have some things in that space. And we're recently in discussions with a young man that is looking for distribution for water. So we are, expanding our portfolio as we can to ensure that we're meeting the consumers where they would like to be.
Good. So the churches can call. Okay, Megan, what's on?
Yeah, I just wanted to ask what makes you excited about the future, the trends of the industry, or just, everybody's collective action within the company. Obviously, this recent transition. What is exciting you most about the future of, legacy partners distribution?
I think participation and platforms like this make me excited, because it means that people are paying attention in the space. I'm excited to see all of the brands that are coming forward. And I think I'm most excited about the collaboration. We recently entered a collaboration with the African American Spirits and Retail Association in Prince George's County, and they're working very diligently to work with a network of retail partners to help our brands get out there. So I think the education and the awareness of the industry excites me, and the interest in really making sure that we have a space and a footprint, I think I find the most exciting about what's going on right now.
Oh, I think you're on mute, Dr. Draper.
I am. Thank you. I hear you're expanding your depth, in terms of what you're doing. How about your width geographically? Are there plans to, where are you located? I mean, can people from where you're from, Chicago, call Legacy Partners Distributors? Are you strictly in the DMV, which is the District of Columbia, Maryland, Virginia area, or tell us a little bit about that?
So we are currently primarily focused on products in the DMV. And so some of our brands are regional brands that have footprints in other areas. So you will be able to find some of them in other places. As I mentioned, one of our brands, Black Eden, is out of Michigan. We have a brand, Driftless Glen, that is out of Wisconsin. So they are present in some places. Our primary focus is making sure the District, Maryland, and Virginia get covered with these brands. But we do have smaller footprints in Massachusetts, and we're working our way down the Eastern Seaboard. But our goal really is to not move as fast, but to ensure that we are truly laying a solid foothold in each place so that our partners are lasting and they have a true legacy before moving them just expanding across the board. So we really do work strategically with a plan to ensure that the brand has a lasting footprint.
Okay, and so when you say we, describe the company a little bit. How many people does it take? Because some people might say, oh my gosh, they're the oldest, been around a long time. It must take 100 people to run this business. Is that the case?
We are not a large business. We are definitely considered a small business. There's Dr. Boyd and myself that are doing primarily the day-to-day operations.
Okay.
We have a gentleman running our logistics and our delivery. We have a delivery team of 2 gentlemen right now, and we have 2 salesmen that we're working with. So we are a small but mighty team. We're under 10 people total, but our networks are huge, and our connections are huge. And it really doesn't take that many operationally, other than the people going out to make sure that the products are where they need to be, and then following up on our accounts.
Well, that's why I raised it. I don't, we put this little tag on ourselves as small businesses, but really with technology, that's another thing that technology helps to do is expand. It's not the number of folk, really. It's really the expertise. It's the people like Megan, because she knows I brag about her all the time, that can write twice as many stories if she had 2 other people there. It's just a matter of what the output is. Because sometimes that's a misunderstanding. I don't have enough people. I don't have enough money. I don't have enough this. And so we talk ourselves out of business.
I agree.
We talk ourselves out of business. All right. So here's a question from a viewer. Are there any plans to expand your footprint to other countries?
There is. We currently have one of our brands that is already looking to branch out into the islands. It is a tropical flavored beverage. And so we do have some that are moving into international space. And then also one of our heritage brands, Driftless Glen, they already have a presence internationally. So we do have brands that are operating internationally as well as here in the States.
Great. And so another viewer wants to know where you're located, where you're headquartered.
Legacy is headquartered in Brentwood, Maryland. So we are right at the Maryland, DC line.
Okay. All right. Those were good questions. So we're going to the islands, Megan. Did you hear that?
I'm excited. I can't wait.
Well, it's about that time to get on the box. So let me say to our viewers, we reserve this time in the last 15 minutes or so of our show every week for our guests and moderators to give their final thoughts on either what we've been talking about, or you can just go on a tangent and encourage people to vote if you want, whatever it is you want to talk about. You'll have a few minutes to do that. And before Megan starts, Megan's going to start. I'll come. Katina, you'll get the last word as our special guest for today. But I want to just say on behalf of Afro News, thank you so much for joining us on today. I think this has been a fascinating conversation. I can't wait until the expo. I fall into the non-alcoholic beverage drinker category. So bring something there that I can taste as well from one of your brands, because there may be a few other people that are in that category as well. And not knocking those who are not, because like I said, that's the most popular part of the expo. You get there early enough, go to the 4th floor of the Reginald Lewis, and there may be 10 folk there who have different things from crafted beer to wines, and they're all African-American owned, and they want you to experience their brands, but most of all, they want to talk about their business. All right, Megan, you are on the box.
All right. While I'm on the box, what I want to just reflect on is that, we can't just get into business for ourselves. We have to get into business for our community. And it's very clear through everything that we've learned about Legacy Partners Distribution that is what it is, leaving this legacy, not just for the family, but on our community. It takes a village, and especially in these trying times, politically, socially, economically, we need to help each other out. we've learned about this crab in the bucket mentality of it's so limited that when we get to the top, we want to pull someone down. But I think that so many businesses today are showing what it is to be purpose driven, to be about the community, to want to affect social change while also making sure that you can keep the lights on and pay the bills. I think that it's possible. And I think that, Legacy Partners Distribution is showing that and leading by example. So thank you, Katina. And I'm off the box.
Off the box. Okay. Well, I'm going to get on the box. I want to echo what Megan said. Thank you again. Commend the founder, Dr. Boyd. I always lament, as I said earlier, the fact that we are still saying something is the first in 2026, and it wasn't that long ago. And, we've been consumers and laborers and all the things. But I'm glad that you're now owners, that you're trailblazing owners. Kudos to your friend, the newly appointed or elected or selected CEO of the business, which makes the business not only minority owned, but woman or female led. So kudos to that. And I know that's a hot off the press announcement, because that just happened in the last week or so. And so we say congratulations to her. And I'm like Megan, I always salute those who are bold enough, entrepreneurial enough to step out on faith, because it takes faith. Most of us don't have a lot of money. No one's walking up and saying, here's $100 million, go start the business of your dream. If it doesn't work, you're okay. Usually it's, we don't have the funds, but we have the idea and we believe it's going to work. And so kudos again to the founders for that. As Megan said, kudos to your philanthropic mission of partnering with those who also share the belief that business thrives when you give back. And people give back all kinds of ways. Some of it's monetary, some of it's mentorship and relationships. And there's something that you said really key. That's really key. We need to share the expertise with one another. If I know how to, open up the jar and you know how to close the jar, well, it can't stay open all the time, and it certainly can't stay closed all the time. So we need each other, somebody to open, somebody to close, and then we probably need somebody to stir it up if it's been closed too long. So everybody has a place and a space in the ecosystem, and we're looking forward to, I'm looking forward to meeting you. Are you coming on the 13th?
Yes.
Good.
We'll be there.
I'm looking forward to meeting you in person on August the 13th at the Reginald F. Lewis Museum in Baltimore, Maryland. If you are in the area, we invite you. Please don't just show up. Please. We'd love to have you come in, but we do have a capacity. Tickets are free. Go to AfroTix, TIX. Just like we spelled chicken box with 2 X's, we spelled Tix with 1. AfroTix.live, and we're happy to reserve a space for you. And let's support. Let's find out more about technology and how we marry AI with our businesses, and more importantly, let's hear some of the success stories. We're going to hear some success stories at the expo. Oh, and I want to say this about the expo before I get off the box. We have a power pitch competition. Think Mini Shark Tank. So we have companies that we've invited to send us video of their businesses and what makes their business special. We'll pick the top 3, I think, to 5 for prizes, and they will be doing their pitches, Shark Tank-like pitches, on the 13th of August. So there are 2 highlights. One is go up to the 4th floor and sample those the spirits, and then come downstairs, and at the end, you be the judge. We'll have professional judges. And last year, the first prize winners, they got cash and free advertising on the Afro and afro.com, and they got a lot of recognition. And I think the deadline may have passed, or maybe this Friday. I'm not sure. Don't hold me to that. You got a business and you want a picture. But anyway, I'm off the box. Katina, your turn.
Thank you so much for having us here. Thank you for highlighting legacy and what we hope to bring to the marketplace and to the community. My on the box is actually going to pivot just a little bit. I'm just returning from a conference, and one of the things that we heavily talked about was just stepping back and taking time to take care of yourself. So in this very busy, hectic world, I think sometimes we begin to feel hopeless and we don't think that there's always something we can do. But the most important thing I think we can do first is to restore and nourish ourselves so that we can get back out there and help in our community. So there was 2 charges from our ecumenical service. And the first was to make sure that we step out and do something. So there is a way for all of us to contribute to our community, to help and give back in some way. But in order for you to give something, you got to have something in the reserve for yourself. So no matter what that thing is that you do, if it is just taking a step outside to enjoy a little sunshine, to feel some sun on your face, to put your feet on the ground, take your shoes off in the grass, whatever you need to do to ground yourself and come back to a whole space, do that as often as you need to. But remember and rejuvenate so that you have some hope and something in the tank to give back, because we are all fighting together in one way or another in one space. And the only way we're going to come out on the other side is if we do it together. I'm off the box.
Well, that was wonderful. That's wonderful. And so, we're going to send an email to info@legacypd.com if we want information. Hopefully we've already gone to afro.com to listen. I didn't even say this. I should say this, right? Katina and Megan, subscribe to the Afro.
Yes.
Now, I'm not trying to tell you to subscribe because rates are going up for the subscriptions August 13th. They are. That's our birthday present to, because the post office gave us all a present. If you all didn't notice, the postage went up. And we mail if you're a print subscriber, we mail your copy directly to wherever you ask us to mail it to. And so right now it's $10 a month. I know $100 per year. I can count, but you get the discount because you sign up for a year. And that includes getting the digital edition along with the print edition, or you can just do digital by itself right now for $40 a year. Both of those are going to go up. Digital is $60 a year after August 13th, and print is $120 a year. And if you do the math, you'll know that mailing out a newspaper and a print product for $120 a year, we are barely covering the postage, but we want you to have that. Many of our print subscribers are older readers and they want to have it in their hand. Not all, because a lot of younger readers, they say, you know what, I like to see it all together. When I go online, I see a story here, a story there, a hit story there, and I don't get the entire visual or other impact. So subscribe to the Afro, support Black businesses, register for the Expo. I see a couple of our viewers said they registered. That means that there's still tickets available. We will see you then. And if Impeccable was on, he would say, call the senior. That's his signature sign off. Call a senior. Don't text them. Don't email them. Show the love to the older generation. Who knows? You got a grandmother you haven't talked to in a while. That may be, she's waiting for your call. He's waiting for your call. So that would be what Impeccable would say. Last thing, thank you to our producer, Asia Martin. Thank you, Katina Wright, for being with us today. Megan Sales, you are an excellent co-host. Come anytime. And until next time, don't be a chicken. Don't be a chicken. Get on the box and support Black-owned businesses. See you at the Expo.